Bless up everybody, you done know. Especially my people who live here in this big cold country that we call Canada. It's actually Kanata, with a K and not a C. Until Vikings and blue bloods from the United Kingdom and France and all them people came and slaughtered the native Indians, gave them drinks to drunken up themselves and then just take away their land, just like what happened in Africa, I'm still smiling, my video before this one I was smiling and dancing because there's no one in this world who is worth anything for your smile to go from your face. You know that song that says, I still have joy, I still have joy, after all the things I've been through. Yes, I still have joy, But this video is not a gallivanting video, I want to talk about this country and how it doesn't make sense, I want to give up props to whoever made that cliche that says, help me to make it make sense. Because there's a lot of things in Canada that I really need help to make it make sense. I have a 26-year-old son who suffers from mental illness. And his mental illness led him to sustain injury to his feet. His 2 feet were amputated less than a month ago. I had to fight with the hospital to address his mental illness. They addressed it because I wasn't going to keep quiet. That's my boy. And right now he needs to be as coherent and with it mentally as he possibly can to make it through his storm right now. You done know. So guess what happened? They did an order that he receive his treatment involuntarily, and boy was I happy. I'm like, good, my son will be on his road to recovery. But in the same breath, guess what Canada did in relation to their Mental Health Act? They have allowed my son in his mental state to appeal that decision. So guess what? Not only is he laying on his back getting bed sores in Michael Garron Hospital with 2 amputated feet at the age of 26, it will be another 6 to 8 months before his mental health illness is treated. Gotta love Canada, the home and native land. I'm being sarcastic. On a real, I visited Service Canada twice to try and get his health card, his little green ohip card, so that they could admit him into a rehab hospital and also see if they can get him some prostrate limbs so that he's not on his back for the rest of his life. I went twice yesterday, my first day off for the week. But I don't mind doing it because that's my child, No one else ain't gonna do it for me. Not even the father. You done know. So that's my duty while I draw breath. It is my duty to look after my kids, as rude and as old as they grow. I will do the right thing because the Bible is said on Judgment Day, he's going to say, where is the sheep that I gave you? Where is the flock? And I can't him and her, you done know. But that's besides the point. Stood up in Service Ontario office, no circulation down there because it's in the basement of the Canadian Tire at Yonge and Davenport downtown in Toronto, only for them to tell me, well, he has to give you permission and he has to sign and Meanwhile, I showed you all the papers to verify that my son is suffering from psychosis and schizophrenia. Without being treated, how am I going to reach him to show him the importance that he signed the paper? I'm here standing as his mama, and you're refusing to issue his health card so he can go into a rehab hospital. Now they talk about mental care and mental health. You see CAMH taking donations. The hospital he's in, they wouldn't be up and running if Michael Garin, who was a 13-year-old that died from a rare form of cancer, if they didn't donate $5 million to them, they couldn't be sitting there twiddling their thumbs. There's a lot of mental hospitals all across Canada that ride and bank on donations because they tell you they care. Do they care? Do they care? In my opinion, they don't care. I'll tell you why. When my son's time is up in that hospital, they will push him out that door with no feet in a wheelchair. You don't know. And it's a straight fact and a reality because they don't care. You don't know. So he won't get to go to the rehab hospital unless who they are holding accountable on his back in the hospital signs the paper. How do I get him to sign that paper? He's not being treated for his mental illness, and he's in his own world. And guess what Service Ontario did? They have locked his file, locked it. That means I can't go in there and move a muscle. But you know what? I exercise the patience that God gave to Job. You don't know, because I'm not going to walk in there so that I could hear click, click, and it won't be no click, click from no Tinkerbell. It would be click, click of the government-issued silver bracelets that they call handcuffs on my wrist. But I know what? You know what? My God is stronger, and I will continue to fight. But could you help me make it make sense? How are you going to hold someone who has verification and documents from 3 psychiatrists who have deemed him incapable of making decisions in terms of his health and his mental health? How are you going to stand up and call him competent enough to sign a paper when he is not mentally fit to understand the severity of his situation? Help me make it make sense. Justin Trudeau, Ford, Olivia Chow, help me make it make sense. And when they push my son through the door in that wheelchair, if an orderly cares to do the pushing, let's say he does something wrong and the police gun him down and say he was a threat, then what are they going to say? Ma'am, I'm sorry to say, I don't think so. I don't want it to get to that. You don't know. This is DJ Bubbles. The Mental Health Act in Canada, it just doesn't make sense at all.